We all know about unicorns and werewolves and krakens. Well, today we're gonna check out 20 mythical creatures that actually existed in real life.
Actually real?
Direwolves.
Apparently. Look at that thing, it's huge!
Not just a thing
Wow.
of fantasy, direwolves are a breed of extinct canine. They're one of the most famous prehistoric carnivores of North America, along with their contemporary competitor, Slimodon. They were an incredible predator, measuring
I think that's
nearly
a saber tooth.
There's no way
head
it
to
was
tail
that big.
and weighing
Whoa.
150 to
Okay,
200
that's not 5
pounds.
feet.
They were
So
about
it was like the size of a
25%
small
bigger
bear.
than most giant dogs alive today, and 25% heavier than the most enormous gray wolves.
Whoa.
Wait, it's only 25% heavier, so it's not that much bigger.
Not that
It's
much
like
bigger, but still,
25% bigger.
imagine a 200-pound dog walking around the,
That's true.
the
That's
face
true.
of the
What?
planet
Wolves
Earth.
are scary right now, and they exist right
Yeah,
now.
right.
They
There's
are.
bigger versions of them.
Right.
That's crazy.
Seriously.
Let's see the next one.
Griffins.
Griffins?
I don't
No.
believe this one.
No way.
Stuff of legends. Griffins are said to be a creature with a lion's body and an eagle's head and wings.
This has to
While
be
what
just
we
No
man
way
say
names.
is
that
a
was-
griffin
yeah,
might
that's not real,
exist,
no way.
Not explicitly. There are similar creatures out there that may have led ancient people to this understandable conclusion. Scythian nomads mining gold in Central Asia as of the first millennium BC told stories of the fierce, eagle-beaked, lion-sized griffin that wandered in the mines,
But
guarding
what was
the
it
gold.
actually?
Instead, these miners may have found
Oh, whoa.
skeletons of the Proceratops dinosaur.
Oh, what the-
That's not even
Backstory.
close!
That's a little bit different.
Dinosaurs, including Tyrannosauratops and
That is totally different. They
Sinoceratops,
don't
were
have
found in the
wings.
same mines.
Oh
These
my
creatures all
gosh.
had a different neck shield, and the
Yeah, but how did they figure out if they had
bird-like
wings?
beak.
Oh, the beak.
However, it
I
was
see.
all about the size of a sheep. The Tyrannoceratops were similar, with the distinct difference
That
being
thing
the
is
size
colorful.
and its two front horns. In contrast, the Sinoceratops had just one horn on the front and was roughly the size of an elephant. While it's not as exciting as a lion-bodied eagle creature, this is pretty consistent with most depictions of griffins throughout history and cultures, meaning the chances are this is the actual creature behind the myth.
Whoa, that would be crazy if that thing was real.
That's stupid. So pretty much a griffin in real life is just a fat elephant that has an eagle's beak.
And it couldn't even fly.
Well, no dog could fly. It was as big as an elephant. It's not no Dumbo.
It's still cool though. It said a lot of different civilizations said it was real. So if they're all saying it's real, it's gotta be real.
You never
Has to
actually
be.
know, but their brains were tinier back then. That creature was pretty cool, but this next one, I don't think you guys are gonna believe.
I think I'm going to.
Camel leopard.
The giraffe.
What?
A camel.
Wait,
I
it's a
thought it
giraffe
said
leopard.
camel
List.
leopard.
The camel leopard
Wait,
is actually
what?
a real but misidentified creature. They were considered
What?
monsters,
Dude,
camel
what?
and leopard hybrid.
A
and
camel
dangerous.
deer?
However, the camel leopard is simply the medieval name for the beast we now call a giraffe.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
my God.
So it's like an
Unique
ancient
look and a
giraffe.
strange marking
That's actually pretty cool.
that scared medieval travelers and explorers alike.
I mean, I would be pretty scared of that thing too.
This cannot be real. There's no way. I'm gonna have nightmares. Please zoom in on that dude's tushy, babushki
What?
right there. That thing is fat, scrumptious.
They're headless people, but their faces are on like their chest.
Yeah, this cannot be real. There's just no way. There's just no way.
I
Let's
feel
find
like a
out.
lot of people probably drank a lot of special juice or silly juice or some sort of juice, and they drew that. That's got to be it. That's got to be their explanation.
lot of rotten milk.
One of the more strange stories on our list today is that of the Blimye.
I've never seen this
these
before.
creatures were a nomadic
Faceless
kingdom of
people.
African people in northern Nubia between 600 and 300 AD.
Okay.
However, ever since the early origins,
That's pretty
stories have been
epic.
told of their headless
Looks
nature.
like a hand.
Legends
What?
told of
For it to-
people with
it
broad
has to turn
shoulders
its whole
covered in
body to
hair,
look to
ears
the
beneath
side.
their
Legit
armpits,
just
and
looks
most
like a
notably
hand.
on the upper chest. They featured two large, bulging eyes and a face.
No.
Modern understanding suggests that headless legends
That's Adam
came
if
from
he
their
lived back then.
Oh my god, dude, it's medieval Adam.
You guys are
combat
stupid.
tactic of keeping their heads pressed close to the chest while half squatting a knee to the ground.
I can't believe there's so much artwork of those things.
Wait, so that was real?
There's no
That
way.
is crazy.
They
That
didn't
is
really back
absolutely
up
crazy.
their claims with evidence at all.
Well,
But we'll believe them.
it seems like what he said is that the people were trying to like avoid arrows and stuff from hitting their head, so they would crunch it up so close to their face that it appeared that it would be in their stomach like this.
Yeah, you're doing it. That looks really good, actually. That's good. That's good work, Adam. You would fit right in.
I feel like Adam might be one of them, a modern day version.
Whoa, what is this next one?
Doveheart Chew,
Doveheart Chew, bless you.
Looks like a
a
Black
creature
Panther.
of Irish
Oh,
folklore.
it looks like a Pokemon.
The Doveheart Chew is said to resemble
does.
both a dog and an otter, but
What?
My two
sometimes it's
favorite
described
animals.
as a half dog, half fish.
Oh.
The creature
That does
lives
look
in
like a
water
Pokemon.
Oh, wait, I
and
don't
has
like that,
fur with
actually.
protective properties. We're likely looking at a formidable relative to the otter, which had been a predator around 6 million years
It's
ago.
a fish dog.
This is the
Pretty much.
Cynomolgale
Well, that's what, like,
malutra,
otters are.
and it was the size of a wolf
Kinda.
at about 50 kilograms.
Wow.
Whoa.
These creatures had a powerful bite, which would have allowed them to
Godzilla
crush
right there.
shells or the bones of birds and other mammals. Truthfully, little is known about the
Ew.
creature, but it was
at how
likely
many teeth it
more
has.
of a formidable predator.
That looks like an otter,
and
honestly.
easily could have been the stuff
Wait, that
of
kind of looks like
legend.
toothless.
Yeah.
Nine-tailed fox.
Wait.
No way that was real. That
No.
thing
The
is
tale of the
awesome.
nine-tailed fox is that of Asian folklore across many cultures.
Yeah, folklore.
This is simpler to explain than a simple misunderstanding. The nine-tailed fox is as accurate as any other fox because they were simply ancient foxes. Foxes are commonplace in Japan, and the belief is that as the fox advanced in age, it would grow more tails over the years. While the
No
magical
way.
properties likely don't exist in these creatures, it's easy to explain
Wait.
that these creatures exist. They're just not the stuff of legends.
So the nine-tailed fox actually exists.
No. But maybe. All right.
They just
didn't
said
really
that they
say
grow more
concretely.
tails.
No, that's the stuff that is like the stuff of myths. Like people believe
No.
that, but they said that, you know,
It's
kind of
fact.
just a myth.
The fox is in Japan.
I don't think it's true. That's why they didn't show any actual pictures of any.
No, it's ancient though. They don't exist anymore. They don't have real pictures now, Jack. Are you silly?
I don't know if I believe it.
Well, do you believe this thing? Look at this thing. What is that? That is massive.
I think it's a giant
Dude,
squid.
that's Alex'
Gigantic
mom.
squid.
Nice, Adam. It looks like a bunch
No
of
talk
mucus.
of mythological creatures and cryptids would be
All right,
complete
this one's
without
real.
sea monsters. The Greeks spoke of a six-headed sea
Whoa!
goddess named Scylla, while cultures in the Bahamas had a half-shark, half-octopus creature
Oh my
called
gosh,
a
that'd be
luska.
terrifying.
This isn't even to mention Nordic legends of the Kraken, described as recently as the 18th century in Europe's first modern scientific world surveys. Finally, in 1853, Norwegian naturalists described the creature as a giant squid which existed deep beneath the depths. This is not a single squid, but a subspecies of deep ocean-dwelling squid.
Oh
growing
my
around
God.
That thing
20
is
meters in length.
insanely big.
This thing
From
is actually
posterior
real.
fins to the top
Yeah, look
of
at
the
that.
two longest tentacles. It is the single largest invertebrate on Earth, but it also has some of the largest eyes of any animal, larger than even great whales. They
What
exist
the heck?
primarily in Antarctica's deep sea, but we can likely assume they could have lived all over due
Is that
to
King
changing
Kong
ocean
versus
temperatures.
It looks like it. Some people say that Krakens came from asteroids and they crash landed into our ocean.
Krakens are just like octopus.
Or octopuses, yeah.
What do you
Okay.
think their pickup line is if they're trying to get a little female kraken? All right, here's my guess. Hey, girl.
Tell us, Adam.
Thanks for giving us a shot at answering that question.
Why'd you
gave us
even ask?
no time.
Hey, girl, what's cracking?
Okay, please leave this YouTube channel.
Kraken.
Jesus.
If
Didn't we
not for
pretty
giant
much-
squids, we may not have Kraken stories, but not all theories have to do with an actual creature. The Kraken, in a sense, might be real, but
That thing
instead
was
of
awesome.
a giant, deep-sea dwelling cephalopod, a treacherous whirlpool. Thanks to literature by the likes of Jules Verne, it's described as a legendary sea monster seen off the coast of
That's
Norway.
not even the Kraken, I
This
don't
would
think.
lead to comparing
the Kraken
Kraken's
right there.
boat engulfing
think that's the
whirlpool when
Kraken.
it
Isn't
submerged,
that
compared
Cthulhu?
to Norway's famed Mostromund, known commonly as the Maelstrom. While it may have been just a giant squid in the waters
No.
to unseen eyes, the consistency with the Kraken's association with whirlpools leads many to believe that the real Kraken was just treacherous waters deep below.
Okay, so wait a second. They were saying that the great squid and the Kraken are two separate mythical creatures.
Yes, the kraken's much bigger than the squid.
No, but
I mean, than the
the giant squid is like a real creature. Like it's been found. That's the
true.
only creature
Yeah.
on this list, I think, other than the direwolf that's actually like been found.
They actually exist in real life. Yeah, all
Well, the
these do.
Kraken has been, there's been so much written about the Kraken over the years. It's one of those things, it's like,
but
it's been
people
talked about
think-
so much.
People think that that's just
Gotta be
giant
real.
squids now. That
Yeah,
like
could
people
be.
were like, oh,
But-
giant squids, Kraken. It's gotta be a Kraken.
Yes, but also, like he said, Krakens are so closely affiliated with these whirlpools, and giant squids are not. So maybe there are Krakens out there.
They think
No,
that when the kraken
no.
opens its mouth, it has so much room in its belly that it actually creates a whirlpool.
And then what happens when it gets filled up?
Adam might have just said words.
No,
there. I
no,
don't
they
know.
have a blowhole and then like a whale. That's what it is. They just said that, bro.
I feel like you guys are making
Look,
stuff up.
look at this video. This is their teeth.
real Kraken
that
was just
look at it.
treacherous
That's literally
waters
the kraken's
deep
teeth.
below.
In the bottom left, it says movie scenes. It's from a movie.
I
think
know,
I
but
think
that's
from
the
Pirates of the
kraken.
Caribbean.
Moby Dick.
Moby
Is he
Dick.
just a blue whale?
Herman Melville's story Moby Dick is a work of fiction, but it was inspired by real-life events of an American whaling ship named Essex. The boat was rammed by a sperm whale on November 20th,
Oh my
1820,
gosh.
and later sank. All 20 crewmen initially survived the shipwreck, but only 8 survived after their journey
my gosh,
eventually
was it eating the
devolved into
people?
cannibalism. While the
Oh.
whale might not have been quite the same, the encounter was what the climactic scene was based on and would long since be famous for.
Wow.
Sharbatus.
No, no,
What
no,
is
no.
that?
Please don't be real.
What is
That
that?
is disgusting. Please don't
What
be
on
real,
earth is
man.
that?
It's kind of like they took the
Another
Kraken
distinct
and they
but
just made
similar
it 10
sea
times
creature
scarier.
includes the sea monsters Sharbatus and Skyla, who appear as challenges to epic creatures
Oh.
like Odysseus, Jason, and Arenas. She's said to be located in the Strait of Messina. Legend claims Sharbatus lives under a small rock on one side of the narrow channel, while Skyla lives under another. To be between Skyla and Sharbatus means to be presented with two opposite dangers. The task for these heroes was to find a way through safely. Similar to the Kraken of Norway, Sharbatus was said to be simply a giant whirlpool. A whirlpool, in fact, does not exist there and is caused by currents meeting there. However, it's not an epic danger as the story claims. It's dangerous only to small crafts in the worst conditions. While nearly all of these last 3 can be linked to a different thing, primarily whirlpools or giant squids, it's interesting to see how the creature's interpretation came up throughout cultures. Do you have one similar that you think we missed? There are plenty of sea monster stories to choose from, and if you think we missed an opportunity, we'd love to hear it from you down below. We're about midway through our video. Just a few more creatures to go before seeing who made number 1.
that's real, guys.
Give me guesses.
That is
Leave them
not
in the
CGI
comments
at
now,
all.
and check back and see. Emogi is a mysterious creature
The
said to have
emoji.
taken birth in a millennium, resembling a giant serpent and having defensive scales
That thing
and
looks
acidic
awesome.
toxins. These creatures were more similar to dragons, though unlike the depictions
It
of
looks like a giant
dragons,
snake.
meant to be kind water and cave spirits in Korean
Could be an
folklore.
anaconda.
Oh, wow.
The emoji depicted viciousness, destruction, cruelness, and despair. Instead of a real-life dragon, however, the emoji was likely tied more to monstrous snakes known as the Titanoboa.
Oh my
These
gosh,
massive
yeah, that
creatures
thing
were
was big.
45 feet long and weighed more than 2,200 pounds.
Wait.
They easily could have been mistaken as dragons to unknowing observers.
I don't know if they would have been dragons to people because, like, dragons, most of the time, like, don't they have, like, legs and they, like, breathe fire and,
And
stuff?
wings.
And wings,
They have
and they can
wings,
typically
too, most of the
fly.
time. I know that
I don't
some
know. I
dragons,
would just
especially
run.
in like in Eastern cultures, like they are kind of serpents that fly around, but they still have like giant teeth and they have like bigger, more defined faces. Like they don't really look like snakes too much.
Yeah.
Kind of look more like
If
lizards.
I got close to a snake, I'd just run. I wouldn't take any time to look at its face, its body, its features.
What? Yeah. What other features does it have?
It's just really
Titanoboa became
curvy.
extinct years ago,
It's-
but
it's
was
harder to
first
all-headed
described
body.
in 2009 after being discovered in rocks exposed
Oh
in
my
Colombia
gosh.
in 2000.
So there,
That's
these actually
Titanoboa.
existed. Wow.
Yeah, that was the world's
Werewolf.
biggest snake.
Werewolf? What?
Are we just talking about like hairy men?
Could be. It
Oh,
could be.
I think that's what
okay.
we're
All
probably talking about.
I got some
right?
werewolves in this video right now.
Ow.
There have been many stories about man to werewolf transformation from 2100 BC with the Epic of Gilgamesh. However, ancient Greece and Rome had the first werewolves as we now know it. There had been plenty of accounts of real-life werewolves, though one in particular was the beast of Gabaldon, first spotted by a woman in the 18th century who was tending cattle in the forest of Langogne in the summer. Her bulls scared the creature off, but the attacks terrorized the small province of France with 210 attacks, 113 being fatal. It's believed that this was a wolf at the time, but more contemporary accounts claim it had been several wolves, as the slayings continued despite a wolf-killing campaign. While the initial scare could have been a larger than average wolf, any werewolf accounts were just misclassified animal attacks over the years, or attempts to sabotage ill-fated people through religious persecution, similar to the witch trials.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. So they weren't real.
They were wolf attacks.
They were wolves. So werewolves
giant
are
wolves.
not actually real. There's hairy men and there's wolves, but there's no overlap.
I like how some of these, like, they're actually saying they're real, and then others just like, yeah, nah, it wasn't. They're probably
I feel
not
like
real.
on this list, there's only been 2 things that have, no, 3 things now that have actually been real. The Direwolves, giant squid, and then, what was the other one? I guess Moby Dick
Moby
was
Dick,
real.
I guess that counts.
Moby Dick is real.
The dragon thing, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
they just said the snake
emoji,
was-
like, it was kind of a stretch, but like the Titanoboa was real at a time, but like, was that really the Amugi or whatever? Probably not.
I don't know. Maybe they're saving the best ones for last. So we got a couple more left. Let's check them out.
Bunyip.
The Bunyip.
Said to inhabit the swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and
What is
water
that?
holes in
don't
Aboriginal
know. It looks like
mythology
Weeping
of
Bell.
Southeast
Where's the head?
Australia. It's generally accepted that the bunyip is
Whoa,
Looks like
he's
it's wearing
stylish.
some
exist.
sunglasses. Kind of looks
The
like
name
Brad
usually
Pitt.
means devil or evil spirit, though the original meaning may have been slightly different due to linguistic changes. The word came about first
Ew.
in 1812.
So many versions of this
describing
thing.
a
There's-
large
yeah,
black
what?
animal
So
like a
what actually
seal
is it?
with a terrible voice that creates
Is it like the
terror.
Chupacabra?
There are several creatures that this legendary one might be based off of. Australian fur
Ew.
seals often get trapped inland during flooding.
Imagine that's
Make
the
a
one
cry
that like
is
it
similar
actually
to the one
was.
associated with the bunyip. Another possibility is that the creature is based on fossilized animal skeletons, like that of a prehistoric kangaroo.
Whoa.
Procopodon.
Winnie the
These
kangaroo.
creatures were supposedly giant, over 500 pounds in weight, and could
We
have
still
raised their
really
arms
don't know
well
what
above
it
their
is.
heads, creating something that would be altogether unfamiliar to an explorer who saw it.
Wow.
Okay.
Vampire
Wait,
demon.
wait. That's an actual clip. Like, that doesn't look fake.
This one, it looks real.
Are vampire deer a thing?
Wait, no.
I guess so. Look at it.
No.
Let's find out.
It's
no.
Adam if he was a
This
deer.
mysterious animal is not as gruesome as the name and
You do got some
appearances
fangs on
suggest.
you.
The
Look at
vampire
those
deer, or
fangs.
musk deer, are real and inhabit the mountainous lands of Asia. However,
wow.
these endangered creatures are best known for their fierce saber teeth, which gives them a terrible reputation. Rather than blood-sucking ghouls, the musk deer found outside in the hills of Pyeongchang are fewer horror stories than just harmless herbivores with surprisingly long teeth.
Yeah, I wonder why they have teeth that
Nemean
long.
lion.
That is a huge lion.
The Nemean
That is the
lion.
strange- Biggest lion
incredible
ever.
mythological creatures in Greek mythology. None more than the amazing, ferocious lion of great size and strength that terrorized Peloponnese farmers.
That
It
has
was
to be
said to
real.
only have fallen when pitted against Hercules, who likely beat the lion. While obviously many of these stories are less one-to-one recreations of events than allegories for lessons to be taught, there may be some basis for a massive, ferocious lion. Perhaps surprising for most modern readers, lions didn't exist in Greece until classical times. The Asiatic lion had a much more extensive range than it does today. They did live in the Peloponnese in 1000 BC, but survived in Greece until as late as the 4th century AD. As there is little doubt that lions existed in the vicinity of Nema centuries ago, it's totally plausible that the story of the Nemean lion had some basis in reality, similar to how Hercules was likely based on either folk memories of the Neolithic period or a natural person or people who had their stories embellished over the years. The story of the Nemean lion, stripped of mythical elements, may simply be a folk record of man versus beast between the humans and lions of the early Neolithic period.
So do you
I will
guys know
say-
what the Nemean lion is? Like, what actually is it? Just a big
I think
lion?
it's pretty much just a giant lion.
It's a big lion.
I will say, like, way back in the day, I don't know about 1,000 years, but at least, like, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000 years, animals were way larger than how big they are now.
I think it was further back than that.
It could
There
have
was
been
more
like
oxygen in the air. I
Yeah.
think it was like millions and millions of years ago.
You got a good point, Alec.
Yeah.
But I don't think lions, like modern day lions, existed like that. Like there were saber-toothed tigers that were pretty big. I mean, I'm sure there's been like huge lions as well, and maybe they just kind of were like, yeah, that's a mean lion. They were like,
Yeah. I mean, that is
lion.
another thing to keep in mind is, like, that story was probably passed down by drawings and word of mouth and could have been misconstrued. And so people might have just believed whatever this one person said, and the dude could have said it was a 20-foot lion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, it's
exactly.
in the
Adam keeps telling me he has a girlfriend, and I've told multiple people, and somehow he has a boyfriend now. I don't get it.
Alec's been saying the same thing.
Rocks.
What are these?
Rocks. Rocks are real.
Most closely related
Rocks,
to
boulders,
behemoths
but
are
the
This kind of looks like a
silence?
The
Gryffindor.
elephant bird evolved when the bird ruled the earth and likely existed on Madagascar for 60 million years. Legends around the rock told of a giant bird large enough
Are we talking about Dwayne the Rock? What kind
No.
of like?
It's pretty much
confused.
Dwayne the Rock, but with wings.
Oh,
elephant.
okay.
This is Bird the Rock.
Which seems incredible, but may not be that far from the truth. Famous
Wait.
explorers like Marco Polo described the rock in their travelers' tales. Some stories claim the fearsome rock ate elephants.
Wait, Marco Polo's a real person? I thought that was just a game.
He was an explorer, so that's why you play the game. With
Oh!
Marco Polo, Marco
Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
Bolo.
Found you.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
But these giant birds were strictly an herbivore. They went extinct around 1000 to 1200 AD.
Carrying
due to
elephants
human
in
activity.
one claw.
What about this one, Jack? You think that one's real?
El Chupacabra.
Nice.
Oh, this
Chupacabra.
one's real.
The
This
most
one's real.
famous
Chupacabra.
legendary monster.
Look at it, look at it!
In
They caught it
1995,
on
the El
camera,
Chupacabra
bro.
was the
Wait.
go-to monsters globally.
I didn't realize- wait.
1995,
Is that in our backyard?
as one of the most famous.
Alec, I didn't know
legendary
somebody was
monsters
filming you when you were
globally.
running to the kitchen.
In 1995, the El Chupacabra was the go-to culprit for
Oh, this
strange
looks like a real-
livestock deaths.
Where is it? This
creating
looks real.
media stir whenever sighted. The dog-like
What?
creature is
Was that just
deaths,
dogs running inside?
creating media stir whenever sighted.
I
There's
don't
gotta
see
be
it.
some-
The
Someone-
dog-like
scared.
creature is said to drink
Look,
the
there it
blood
is.
of livestock.
It's probably just a
and act
coyote.
Like a vampire. It goes after goats, sheep, and other farm animals and pets.
Chupacabra.
These
I do
creatures
too.
have been described as hairless and wolf-like.
Ew.
It's believed that these sightings were
It's gotta
simply
be a
dogs
coyote.
infected with a parasite called mange, which would cause them to lose their hair and create an otherworldly appearance.
Oh, no.
Their attacking livestock makes sense, as these animals would
That's
not
gotta
be
be a
able to
bear.
hunt in the
That
wild
looks like a
due to
baby
their
bear,
condition.
yeah.
That's a bear.
Chupacabras are easier targets. While you might not have to worry about a dog like cryptid, try to avoid stray dogs in Mexico and Puerto Rico just for safety's
Look how
sake.
long the legs are.
I think that's a coyote.
Unicorn.
What?
Okay, all right. No.
That is real.
What? Why
No.
can't
Are they
unicorns be
real?
real?
They might be real.
They might be real because like is it a narwhal that has the giant spike coming out of its head for no good reason? I guess it could be real.
I heard that ancient people used to call rhinoceroses unicorns because they had the horn, and then it got like misinterpreted over the years.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but I think like the Latin word for rhinoceros.
Unicorn.
Well, I think
Okay.
that like the Latin word for rhinoceros has uni in it, and it's like
That does make sense.
Oh, yeah,
Uni
okay,
means one.
okay.
Like
Yeah,
in
like one
Spanish, uno means one.
There are a few different origins for what we now understand as the unicorn, one of which is the narwhal. Through the Middle Ages and Renaissance, unicorn horn was all the rage. But the twisting, conical object that circulated around, and that we imagine in the iconic horse image, was generally the tusk of a narwhal. These are Arctic whales
Alex
hunted
right.
by Vikings, who would then sell their tusk at an astronomical price. In 1577, an English explorer, Martin Frobisher, led an expedition where he happened upon a dead narwhal, which he called a sea unicorn. However, there's also the other origin, explaining why we have stories of unicorns worldwide. Now known as the rhinoceros.
Whoa, you
some
guys
Indian
got 'em
legends
right.
told of a creature
Let's go.
with the head of
Alec
a
and I might be the
stag
smartest
and feet
people
of
on
an
planet
elephant,
Earth.
Did you guys watch
and a
this?
single black
Good work,
horn
Jack.
coming from
That
the
is a
middle
sharp
of its
horn.
forehead. Just a little too similar to be a coincidence. Hobbits.
Hobbits.
It's
But as it
Neanderthals,
turns out,
right?
It may not be otherworldly and fantastical as it seems. We once had our own species of hobbits on Earth, as it turns out, by Homo florensis. This was an ancient species of hominin, human, and our closest ancestor who lived on the Indonesian island of Flores. In 2004, a skeleton was found in Liang Bua
So
called
tiny.
LB1. They stood at under 4 feet tall and had a mix of modern and more archaic bodies, including a brain just 1/3 the size of ours. Archaeologists also found tools resembling
Smooth brain.
the Oldowan style predominating around 2 million years ago. A popular theory for their size rests on a phenomenon known as island dwarfism.
Lord of the
Animals on
Rings.
islands tend to become smaller and smaller due to limited resources. This is seen in the pygmy elephants of Malta, the dwarf Burmese python, and some dinosaur species. It's believed that over their potential 700,000 lifespan, H. florensis over
Ew.
time.
That is
We have our number
disgusting.
one on the list next, but we've covered some incredible
Platypus?
cryptids and mythological creatures.
That
with
one was
very
real.
Real backstories. We're constantly
Yeah, how is
discovering
that? I
new
guess it
things, and
kinda
we look
is a little
forward
bit
to when
mythological.
someone can explain the likes of Mothman, or Nessie in the future? Did you see a favorite on the list, or do you think we missed a big one? Let us know,
They
and
really
maybe
didn't
you'll see your
explain
choice
too
in a
much.
future video. If
Like
you
they
want more
missed
unique,
everyone.
engaging, and sometimes downright wild content, go ahead and subscribe to the single video.
Make sure you guys subscribe to MoreBeckBros for more content.
Platypuses are real.
I
what?
feel like they're real, right?
Now, some
Platypi,
animals are
right?
so weird.
Wait,
I don't know.
Does this exist, or is this a myth?
In 1798,
Adam.
John Hunter, captain of the Royal Navy, sent a pelt and a sketch of the animal back from his Australian travels. However, European naturalists refused to believe that such an animal could exist. Even when the platypus was described in scientific literature by
Looks so
George Shaw,
soft.
he admitted apologetically that skepticism was usual in this case, that even having seen it himself, he still doubted it. While not traditionally a cryptid as some on the list, the platypus so thoroughly threw European naturalists that
Its
they
face
couldn't
is so funny.
classify it for quite some time. Even now, considering everything about a platypus is a strange endeavor in and
That's
of
a funny
itself.
looking beaver duck.
Yeah, if you take like the beak thingy off of it, it kind of just looks like a giant rat.
Hey!
No,
Yeah,
it's
no.
like
fins though. It's got little fins on its hands.
similar to like a gopher duck sort of thing.
Yeah, but it looks like someone just threw a shoe at it and stuck to its face.
Whoa, that's mean. That is so
Kinda,
rude.
yeah, like a
What?
croc.
It's Perry the Platypus. Perry.
All right, that's it for today.
That's it. I want more.
That's it, guys. Make sure you guys comment down below which ones you believe are actually real, and click this video for more content.